Hello. Welcome back to our Rule the Waves 3 playthrough of Italy starting in 1890, Mare Nostrum. In the last episode, the last few episodes, we've just been grinding away here in the Mediterranean, just trying to keep our heads above water. I do believe that Japan has jumped into the war on our side now, so they are at war with France and the United States. With any luck, that will draw some of the French forces out of the Mediterranean, or at least keep the United States out of the Mediterranean if they have to deal with the Pacific over there. Maybe France will also be forced to deploy something over to Asia. Japan doesn't appear to have I don't know why, they only have 33 uh, like blockade power or whatever it is over here. When they have six battleships, six dreadnoughts, 12 pre-dreadnoughts, two battle cruisers. Yeah, they should have way more than that. So we'll see what pops up over here. Maybe they need to shift it. I don't know. They're immediately threatening French territories and China, and hopefully in the Southeast Asia and South Pacific and all that. Meanwhile, our unrest is getting pretty high. It's gone up and down as we become blockaded and unblockaded and so on. But we're going to save the game. We're going to make a backup of our game. And we're going to hit the turn button and go. We have a convoy attack. I'm not too keen on this because, they're going to be bringing those battle cruisers, which are the bane of our existence. And it looks like it's going to be a full-sized battle. We'll be bringing, let's see here, some of our old Lepanto battleships, which have the 7-inch broadsides. But they might be useful. We're also bringing an absolute horde of destroyers, and for some reason, the seaplane carriers are coming along too, even though they're not assigned to a fleet or anything. So light breeze, light rain. Let's see what we get here. Our mission is to hit this convoy as best we can. We don't have control of our ships yet. We're just going to wait until we do. I have a bad feeling we're going to run into someone point blank here. We just want to get control of our ships. And once we do, come on. Once we have control, we can head over there to the objective area. There it is. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's just a single destroyer. So we're going to turn off his torpedoes. We're going to crank them up to maximum speed. We're going to pull our light cruisers in from their screen formation and put them on max speed. We're going to grab these destroyers and do the same thing. We're just heading over here to the convoy area to try to sink some transports and get those victory points up early. Because, like many of the battles we have fought here against the French and the US combined, really, it's been a matter of score what points we can and then withdraw. So we're just going to be aiming to do that here. These are our battleships. So squad max. Now we will head down that way. Here's the Euro, which is one of probably our best performing destroyer that we have. And then a couple of, these are probably Geta class light cruisers, which they're quite long in the tooth at this point, and we're slowly losing them to the attrition of getting into battles. These uh, AV carriers, we're gonna put them up to max speed, and we're gonna send them up north. Just send them. Oops. Uh, Send them north. And just try to get them to go home. They're not really useful for us at the moment. I highly doubt that they even have any planes on board. Although they might have some seaplanes. Let's take a little look-see, shall we? This is just scouting. Well, we could take the distance down to like 100, and I guess we can do a search. I don't know if it launches them, it launches them. If not, then they're going home anyway, and it doesn't really matter. But it would be kind of nice actually to have a little bit of an idea of where the enemy might be here. AV carriers I don't really mess around with very much. Float planes are okay, but they're not particularly useful in this area. It's a little bit, I feel like it's a little bit too early. All right, here comes the daylight. No contact. There's contact. There we go. So those look like some big old ships to me, and they are moving away from us. So we're going to turn a little bit. I don't know if they're turning to fight us or what here, but the longer we can remain unidentified to them. There's some more battleships. That's another battleship line right there. So we're going to cut north, and we're going to send our destroyers up here, like hopefully straight across. And then at some point, they'll be able to launch some torpedoes down there. That looks like this might be a transport. It's moving a little bit slow. Yeah, this might be transports. That's good. And then, all right, this thing here. Let's get this. Oh, we can't get it under our control, can we? Nope, that one either. They're just gonna go and looks like they're just gonna die, I guess. I don't know. A little bit suicidal. Are these? Those must be transports. These look like cruisers or something. No control yet. Okay. Well, we're leaving behind our main force, but we have a lot of light ships here that we can hopefully just launch a whole wave of torpedoes into this mass here and hope for a lucky hit on a battleship. Because if you can get some torpedo hits on battleships, you probably won't sink them unless you can score more, like maybe 2 or 3 hits. But the damage you do can give you a victory. Okay. We're having a little bit of a traffic jam here. Sparrow. All right. We might be okay to launch. That might be all right. That's probably okay too. And these destroyers will just, launch what they can. Let's turn in so we don't hit our own torpedoes. We will launch what we can, and then start sending these destroyers home. Oops. Still a bug after all this time, huh? All right, send them home. Let's fire some torpedoes here. High-speed torpedoes. And again. And again. And then these destroyers can start getting out of there. Our battleships are just lagging behind along with those other slow cruisers. All right, meanwhile, the Euro, we can fire some torpedoes down there, just into that whole mess of ships. Fire, and jeez, I hate that. Come on. Fire, and we'll do the same thing again. And we'll have to try to get our, you know what, maybe let's just fire the transport, I guess. We'll have to try to get our cruisers in there to attack those transports because these destroyers just, they're not going to hold up. Okay. Oh. Well, we scored one hit so far. That's encouraging. Fire. Fire. Then we want some slower speed torpedoes out there. Because our range is not exactly impressive on these things yet. Oh, there's another torpedo hit. The Nancy class will fire. Do that. And then, what is that? The Gallo class? Well, we will give it our best try. All right, and they are out of torpedoes, so send them home. The reason why the game was running there for a sec is because I actually did control right click instead of shift right click to steer, do manual control. Are we out of torpedoes? They are. All right. This light cruiser is in a very inconvenient position here. He should really not be out in front. So let's get him behind the destroyers. Are you out of torpedoes? You are not. Okay. I really want to be back there with some of my ships to attack those transports. But that is not in the cards at the moment. Out of torpedoes. I don't know. We'll just have to see what we get here. We will fire at the Nancy class. It's coming straight for us. And then we'll do some longer range torpedoes. There we go. Some slow ones into the middle of the fleet down there. And then this little destroyer, who is on AI control. There we go. Now I got some control again. I can fire at the Charlemagne. Ooh, ooh. Keep firing at the Charlemagne. And then you're out of there. And then I don't have control over you. Well, I guess that's that's one way to sink a transport, is just get lucky and hit him with a torpedo. Can we hit that guy? No, we're out of arc. These are the old underwater torpedo tubes, so I'm going to have to slow down anyhow. Cool. All right. And my cruisers are really close to the enemy right now. There's probably a lot of torpedoes in the water from all these destroyers, so we will have to make a battle turn here, like immediately. So we're going to turn around and go back. Their battleships are going to turn like that. Do we have any torpedoes left? We do. We can fire towards this. We're going to aim for this battle cruiser down here. This rowing class. Let's see here. There's Charles Martel. We can fire that way. Again, we're spreading our torpedoes out a little bit. And then we're going to go for the Rowan class. Ruin, I don't know. And then we're going to get out of there. And then we got a lot of torpedoes left. These destroyers are turning out to be worth their weight right now. Worth their weight in gold, I might dare say. Okay. Start getting these cruisers in there. They're no, they have good. They have torpedoes. They're good. He has torpedoes. He's good. Bring you down here. You're empty. You're empty. Oh, okay. Anything left on you? Nope. All right. These heavy cruisers won't have torpedoes. These light cruisers, we're going to swing them back down south here. I need more destroyers that have ammunition left. These ones do not. So you're going home. I need some munitions here. They're empty. Where are my destroyers? Here's the Dardo is going to come down here. These destroyers here are going to come down, and we're going to try to finish off some of these. If we don't get screened out by these destroyers too badly. And these light cruisers are going to do the same. All right, here we go. Got high-speed torpedoes. We're going to dump everything we have into the water here. Friendly ship in the way. Just dump on them. Go and go. And then these heavy cruisers are going to come back down, I think, and try to help chase off some of these destroyers. Just clear out the path a little bit. All right, this is that AI to control destroyers. Nothing I can really do about that. But we're going to take a shot at the Nancy while we're here. It's probably going to turn. They always do, but oh, actually, it's looking pretty good. Okay, well, we missed. We missed, but that's empty. We're getting hit pretty good still by their gun still. We're going to turn our cruisers around to try to help deal with this Nancy. And then these light cruisers here, we're gonna do a southwards turn to hopefully avoid some of these destroyers that probably have torpedoes in the water now. We're gonna turn our. We're gonna fire at that Rowan. Oh, out of arc. Okay. We're gonna turn southwards, and then we're gonna make a run on these battleships back here, and hopefully these light cruisers can go with them. You're empty. I'm getting excited. Okay, well, we took a torpedo hit. We knew it was going to happen eventually, but we'd rather it be one of our light cruisers than anything else. So it's going to, we're just going to send it straight north, get it out of the way. Okay. Yeah, that light cruiser is pretty much done. Our destroyers, we have to get a nice shot off. We have to get a good shot on this. Actually, it says it's sinking. Well, we'll see. Oops. This one here, medium damage, potentially heavy damage. We're going to wait a little bit longer. And now we're going to fire at that Rowan. There we go. Go, and there we go. We're going to hold off on the rest of those to try to get some shots onto the Charles Martel. We're going to be in short enough range that we're going to do high speed here in just a minute. All right. Oh yeah, I think it is sinking. All right, we're going to fire our rear destroyer at that battleship just to try to finish it off, and then we're going to spam the Charlemagne. Go 1 minute, and then we're going to fire again into the Charlemagne, and then he's going to back off. And these heavy cruisers are going to come down here and help us hopefully clear out. Our destroyers are kind of without a good target here. Right. Now on the Charles Martel. We should have torpedoes coming in from a couple different angles here. He's coming straight at us, but we're getting a nice spread. What's going on up here? Oh, we're getting close to that Nancy. All right, let's fire and fire. And we should be able to squeeze off one from the front here without getting that message about being too close. All right, fire the Nancy out out of arc. Oh, I'm too far forward. Okay, that's fine. It's not really fine, but we're gonna do turn together here to improve our angle. And our battleships, we're just gonna send them home. Meanwhile, our light cruisers are just trying their best to dodge. Let's turn these destroyers north. Let's take our heavy cruisers south. And again, we're trying to sweep down around here to get into these transports. We're still keeping the mission in mind. All right, well, we hit the Nancy. Charles Martel. And okay. Charles Martel. We've still got some action left on that Nancy up there and the Charlemagne. Anything left on him? No. All right, then I guess we'll just keep dueling with this Nancy for now. Turn off, turn together. We're going to turn around, we're going to chase the Nancy with these things, and we're going to keep these light cruisers going south, hopefully for a shot at the Charlemagne. And this destroyer here is getting pounded. Okay, we got a lot going on here. All right, he's empty. Armando Diaz, that's one of ours, I think. It's probably over here. Yeah, he got hit. Okay. Well, in that case, actually, he's not flooding too badly, so we'll just detach him and turn off AI control and just send him home. Hopefully, he'll make it home. He is, quote unquote, just a light destroyer or light cruiser, but we'd like to preserve him if possible. All right, fire one at the Charles Martel. How's that Nancy looking? Still going pretty fast. All right, well, oh, he went back to AI control. Crap. Okay. I wanted to put more shots into the Charles Martel. Might have to use the light cruiser for that. Okay, this isn't turning out too horrible. We could really use the chance to get into those transports with one of our gunships. Fire. We're expended. We have a little bit left. And then we're going to turn hard. Oh, nice. We got him. Good. Good, good. Oops, I did yes to all. Where are my settings at? Preferences. Uh, torpedo hit. Whenever you hit yes to all, that means it won't notify you when it does it when you score a torpedo hit. And I like having it turned on. Okay. Okay, what do we got going on here? Destroyers are still running away. These light cruisers are. We're kind of in amongst the transports now. If I do like this little loop-de-loop here, we got this guy firing his torpedoes. Let's see, fire at the Rowan. It's a little bit of a hopeful shot with just one light cruiser. I mean, I might as well fire at the Charles Martel. Okay, heavy cruisers are going to turn along with the. They still have those old battleships in there, like those old pre-dreadnoughts. Oh, all right. Here's a chance. Fire torpedoes. The Charlemagne. Go. Go. And the rear one won't have the arc to do it. Uh-oh. That's not good. Nope. Our hopes are on you. There we go. Nice. We can fire off one more from the back. Uh, starboard has not fired. So we turn together. There we go. Fire, and then I still have the rest of the battle to manage here. So we're going to go down here for a minute. Okay. Yeah, this is actually turning out pretty good. And oh, nice. We hit the Rowan with another torp. Oh, nice. That could be big, 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 big. All right, fire. And we'll do turn off, turn together, and we're going to get out of there with those light cruisers. The Rowan got hit. It's over here. That is beautiful. The Armando Diaz is struggling to get out of there. Right, so that Charlemagne should be gone. So that's two dreadnoughts gone, I think. Or maybe like a battle cruiser and a dreadnought. But the Nancy is a battle cruiser, and it's taken a couple of hits. Wish I had more destroyers. I'd go over there. I would go to this Charles Martel, the Nancy class. Well, I mean, we're still like, uh-oh. We are in risk of losing one of our battleships here. Let's detach it and turn off AI. We're going to turn it away from the battle here. Yeah, these old battleships are just completely outclassed here. But We could try to chase them away with these light cruisers. Nancy just got hit by 4-inch guns. 4-inch. This thing even has 4-inch guns? Oh, that's the tertiaries. Okay. If you don't mind, start hitting with those broadsides, the 7-inch guns. Charlemagne is sinking. So we're going to send this cruiser group over here to try to catch up with that Nancy. If we can put any kind of torpedo into them, that would be absolutely gorgeous for us. But the main goal here right now, to finish this up, is trying to hit some of those transports. Now we're hitting the Nancy with a 7-inch gun. Turn. We'll just go like that. Squad max. Let's crank their speed all the way up, and the second light cruiser will start to fall behind. Actually, it's damaged enough that we can detach it. I don't think having one more light cruiser is going to make that much of a difference, especially when it's already damaged so badly. And the enemy does still have a heavy cruiser down here, which is absolutely lighting up the Bartolomeo Collinio. It's being shot at by a couple of different things, actually. Okay. That Nancy's still going. It's got heavy damage. Let's divert these light cruisers over here to this Nancy. Actually, no, this one is coming south, so we'll cut across, and we might have a chance at either. Or take our pick. The Armando Diaz is still getting hit by this Nancy, and probably the Charles Martel too. But there's nothing we can really do about it. He's going away at his best speed. Let's see. The Umbria is getting hit by. Oh yeah. There's a whole line of battleships here. So let's actually we can fire some torpedoes at them. Devastation class. Yeah, the Umbria is getting walloped there. I didn't realize they had that many old battleships in the middle of their fleet still. You know, if we can hit one of those with a torpedo, I think we'd have a pretty good shot at sinking it. I doubt that those old pre-dreadnoughts have much in the way of torpedo protection on them. We are getting closer to this Nancy with our light cruisers, and we're still getting chased. The Nino Bixio is getting harassed by destroyers. I'm turning the Luigi back around and just hope for the best when it comes to hitting those transports. All right, the Nino is sinking. We're gonna hold up, hold our just hold our torpedoes for a minute here. All right, we are close to the Nancy, so we're gonna take a sudden turn to the north. No, we're gonna fire a head-on torpedo at the Nancy, high speed. See if it turns. And it's easier to hit these ships when they are broadside. And the Umbria is just going to run away. I don't know if we've hit enough of these transports to sink 6 of them. We've invested a lot of our light cruiser hit points into that. Okay, we're going to turn together and do this. Hard turn. Shoot, that doesn't work, does it? Can we even fire at that ocean class? We can. There's just a lot to manage here right now. Oh, what am I doing? That's actually fine, yeah. I thought I was in control of these light cruisers up here. All right, the Puglia. This is your chance to finish off that Nancy. Then we still got torpedoes down here to launch at that ocean class. Go and nothing. Let's actually try to get out of here, I think. It's not worth losing light cruisers to sink those old pre-dreadnoughts right now. Okay, the Armando Diaz is suffering. This light cruiser needs to just get out of here. Although that Nancy might be slow enough to catch. Luigi, we're just going to flee with that. Actually, we have some shots on this ocean class. We're going to lose a lot of ships in this battle. We're going to be a neutered navy. All right, let's turn. All right. Fire at the Nancy. Go and go. Oh boy, that's not good. How did our battleship get hit by? Has to be a There has to be a sub up here. Well, we're gonna lose one of our pre-dreads because there's no way it's gonna survive that, right? All right, that Nancy's dead in the water. This rowing class is dead in the water too. I'd like to finish it off if possible. All right. Yeah, our light cruiser force is taking a real beating here. He's just firing off torpedoes willy-nilly. All right, here we go. Oh, cool. We got our objective. Well, the Barry's going to go. He's just taking too many hard hits from these guns. But he might take the Nancy down with him. I think he will take it down with him. All right, get out of there. All right, the goal here is to try to finish off these two battle cruisers. We are losing a lot of ships. Hopefully it's worth it. We'll fire our rear light cruiser there. This has been a long battle. And now we try to finish off the Rowan. All right, now we go home. If we can go home. If we can. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Just that we're losing our entire cruiser force, pretty much. That light cruiser is not going to stand much of a chance against a fresh enemy cruiser. But if I can clump my ships up together a little bit here. They'll have a little bit better chance against, whoa, go home. That Barry is in trouble. It's amazing that some of these ships are barely a third of the way home during all this battle. You know, if you're gonna chase after this thing, I may as well try to kill something before it dies. It's on fire, it's sinking, it's flooding. Um, these actually weren't bad shots. They're chasing my destroyer and the Armando Diaz. Can you go any faster? Go up to 13 knots, friend, if you can. And this poor battleship over here is still, it's on fire. The fires are mostly controlled. If they can get that last fire under control, he has a chance of getting home. I'm not going to, you know, babysit him, but just know that if that fire goes out, he has a chance. His machinery is repaired, so he can go up to 6 whole knots. The Barry is going to go towards Corsica there. Boy, we really could use oil in our Navy. These coal turbines needing to be cleaned off all the time. It's not doing us any favors. But I'm feeling good. I feel like we sank 2 dreadnoughts and 2 battle cruisers. We're getting harassed by a heavy cruiser, huh? Hey, the fire's out. Unfortunately, he's going to get wolf packed by these little ships here. He's on fire again. All right, yeah, he's done skis. That was one of our old pre-dreadnoughts, but losing any of them really stinks. What is that? It's the Charles Martel. Luigi, you got some torpedoes left on you, bud? I'm going to alter my course a little bit here so he's not easy to hit me. I mean, if I can, if I can score any kind of torpedo hit on this guy, he's got light damage. Just don't want to get hit too much. He got me. All right. Well, it's worth a try, I guess. All right. Well, homeward bound. We're gonna have ships get picked off left and right, just one at a time as we leave. But I think we got the majority of our fleet out of there, especially most of our destroyers. I think we lost probably half the cruisers we had deployed, which is not good. Very much not good. All right, everybody go home. Yep, another light cruiser lost. This is a bloody situation. They were able to preserve more of their cruisers, so now they're in the chase phase where they can just keep on sinking my stuff because they've got a light cruiser that's basically not quite fresh or anything, but it's definitely in better condition than our ships. Because like one on one, I'd put our light cruisers generally up against the enemy. Even though our Geta class, all right, Geta class isn't that new. Let's see what we got here. We lost a battleship. We lost two heavy cruisers, both the heavy cruisers we had deployed. We lost five light cruisers. We lost two destroyers. We sank two dreadnought battleships. We sank three battle cruisers. That's more than I thought. And eight destroyers. So their cruiser force is pretty much untouched. But I would say we came out ahead on this one. The cruisers we did lose, except for our heavy cruisers. The cruisers are the old Geta class, not that big of a loss. In the battleship, it's a pre-dreadnought, whatever. All right, and we completed the mission for a whole 800 points. All right, exit the battle. To prestige, we gain 18,000 victory points. Battle of Cape Argenteria. Cool. We have researched fleet tactics. 1% weight savings on hulls. Increases elevation. Quadruple torpedo mounts. Okay. We lost a sub. The U.S. lost a heavy cruiser and two heavy cruisers. Spain lost a destroyer. That's pretty good. Hopefully, Japan will be jumping in here in the next month or two. And they are outrating us now because we don't really have any raiders left. We had a couple that were interned. I don't know. Okay. Save the game. 62,000 victory points to 44,000 now. Let's check the almanac. France is down to one dreadnought in service right now, two battle cruisers. We have definitely evened up on the tonnage. The US is still bonkers, but Japan can kind of match them. We still have 8 battleships in service. I thought we lost, I don't know, maybe we had more Lepantos than I thought we did. And France is rocking 5 pre-dreadnoughts. We're still pretty good, pretty even on the cruiser war. and we're getting closer in destroyers. And ours are heavier. Ours are bigger and more advanced. You can tell because we have less destroyers, but our tonnage is higher. All right, we're gonna save the game. I think I already did that, but that's it. That was the Battle of Cape Argentaria. I think we have broken the blockade for now. France is down to 79 power projection. We're at 60. The US is at 1 right now. So we might not be blockaded next month. We'll find out. But we're getting close to an hour into this. We're just going to go ahead and end this now. Uh, things are looking a little bit brighter. These destroyers coming into the war late, but they are making a big difference. So that might be our thing now. We might be mainly a destroyer attack force in the Mediterranean. Who knows? We'll see. We're definitely going to be in a crappy situation when this war ends and our monthly budget plummets. Our yearly budget will plummet. But we'll hopefully be able to get rid of all these old Lepantos that are eating up maintenance cost. And we'll have a set of not fantastic, but they'll be okay battle cruisers. And at that point, we might be able to start building up some battleships, I don't know, like a couple of I think maybe 3 modern battleships. We'll see. 3 dreadnoughts. But we also need to rebuild our cruiser force in time. So that'll be a project when the war ends. Anyhow, if you're still here, I appreciate you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.